Hey, so this is Tessa Nelson. Haven't done a video for this class until like the beginning of the semester, which was a few weeks back, about 8 weeks ago to be specific. And so I'm supposed to be like the first question that I'm supposed to be discussing for this class is what are your initial impressions of the first 8-week course of your online MSW program? So my first impressions I would say are definitely positive. Was the first class, but we also took, as you know, another class, which was Social Work 505. And I think the lessons combined from this class and that class were really, really good. I think that I learned a lot about like, especially in this course, I learned a lot about like the materials and resources that the university has to help promote my education. I especially liked the library sources. That was very, very pleasing for me to see. And I did use several of the journals from our library in one of the papers that I wrote for the other class. And so the most helpful definitely was learning about the practicum. I think that learning about like our field education and the field practicum and like knowing what to expect and like what we should be looking for and what the school is looking for in terms of like expectations for us was really helpful for like just planning for the future in general in this degree. And what has been the least helpful to inform me about this orientation? That's kind of hard to pick because I kind of feel like every week had like information that was really, really, really important for the class. So like to online learning tools, student support, like field education part 1 and 2, building community, anti-racist principles and ethics. I feel like all of those things were actually really important to learn about in this class, and especially for like the field. So I don't really think I can say that there's anything that I don't feel like was helpful in that regards. And I feel like that's kind of a fair thing to say. And so as I look ahead, what intentions do I have for my professional learning journey and development? So I'm going to say that I feel like it's going to be important to get as much work experience as possible in the field of social work. And fortunately, I do have a couple of jobs that, have like you can consider it social work applicable. And I got my undergraduate in family studies, so I've been very, very blessed in that way. But I feel like that's going to be the most important thing for my professional learning journey. I think that having my own personal like goals of like how I want to study and prepare for like the LCSW exams or the master exam, depending on what state you're from. I feel like that those are going to like, that would be definitely a personal professional goal that I have is like being prepared for those exams. So that way I can eventually get my LCSW and pass that licensing exam and like really know what I'm talking about in terms of social work and how to work with clients. And how do I ensure that I'm staying on track with my intentions over the next upcoming 2 to 3 years? I think that being in like a school that has a particular schedule for me is really beneficial because it's like I don't really have to deliberate or what classes to take. It's just like it's there, it's in the plan, it's what we're going to be enrolled in next. I feel like that's actually really structured and helpful for me. My other undergraduate was like that at BYU Idaho, and I felt like that I just knew what I had to take, when to take it. And although there was a little bit like there's a flexibility with like electives and such, with the two schools, knowing just like that there is a plan and like how long the plan is going to take is really, really helpful. And for like me personally staying on track, just making sure I'm keeping up with homework, that I'm doing my readings, that I am being an attentive student and I'm not just trying to skim by on stuff. Because I feel like in some classes previously, it was like I just did the bare minimum to get the A, but like the learning didn't really stick. And I noticed that for a lot of like my general education, credits, I did quite a bit of that with those. Any closing thoughts or questions or words of wisdom you'd like to share with your peers or instructors? That is a good question. I think words of wisdom maybe for people who might be maybe for people who might be joining into this program next year or next fall. I would say that my best advice is to make sure that you're completing the readings and the readings are really, really important to what you are learning about, and to really take the words of the readings into account and apply it in your practice. And like when I say practice, maybe when you work with clients, or even if you're not in a social work position right now, maybe when you're working with people in general, and you'll just notice, I think, a change that's really helpful. And so that's pretty much it. And I'm actually really sad that this class is ending because I really enjoyed it. And I've also enjoyed Social Work 505. And I can't wait to keep on going. So thank you so much, everybody. Bye.